Hi all, welcome to this virtual parents presentation. My name is Mike, I'm the General Manager for Parkwood Outdoors Dolygaer. In this presentation, we're going to go through a few things. We're going to talk about Parkwood Outdoors Dolygaer as a whole, but also the overarching organisation Parkwood Leisure. A bit about our staff, safety, activities, what your children need to bring, and some of the questions that they might have. Let's get started with a bit of a video that can really tell you what we do and who we are. Okay, there we have it. So look, that's just a snapshot of what we do as a company. Lots of fun, lots going on. So let's have a look at our company structure a little bit. So we're actually managed and owned by Parkwood Leisure. So they're a large organization. They've been going for 30 years, and they've got that nice big structure behind them. They've got all that safety that comes with a large organization. In 2015, we purchased Dolygaer, all right, and the brand of Parkwood Outdoors Dolygaer came from that. All right, we also have a few different companies like Plantasia in South Wales. We've now got the National Outdoors Centre for Wales up in North Wales, past Menai, and over 33 different local authorities and 100 different facilities all around Great Britain. So Dolygaer itself, as I said, we purchased it in 2015. It was an LEA centre, and there was quite a bit to be done because the LEA centre started in 1972. It definitely had its heydays before the 2000s, but then was sort of left to itself in the early 2000s. So when we purchased it in 2015, we put a lot of money into it. We completely revamped it. We updated the accommodation, and we bought all brand new kit. The journey from 2015 to where we are today has been a really exciting one. We've won loads of awards along the way, which is brilliant, getting sort of TripAdvisor's top 10% in the last 4 years in a row, and just recently winning the Welsh Hospitality Awards for best activities. So where is our centre? We're about an hour north of Cardiff, right in the Brecon Beacons National Park. It's an absolutely stunning location. We've got the big hills and mountains all around us. We've got 2 reservoirs right on our doorstep. And yeah, all our activities are around us. We don't need to travel far for anything. So we've got that combination of being in a beautiful location. We've got staff that love what they do, and we really want to bring that adventure and that enthusiasm to everyone that meets and comes to our site. So I talked about our staff, and in reality, these guys make our centre. They just love what they do. All right. Most importantly, though, they're qualified in what they do. So you can be assured that any of our instructors that are leading any of our sessions are qualified to do what they do, and they're represented by that through national government bodies. Okay, where there isn't a qualification, then what we do is we do a vigorous training regime. They sit on sessions with other instructors, and then we do external assessments for those instructors. So another thing that should be giving you as parents a bit of peace of mind is ALA. Okay, so ALA is part of HSE. All right, they come and assess what we do to make sure that we're at the standards to look after your children. So first part will be a exercise on checking all our procedures, things like risk assessments, things like operating procedures, things like making sure our kit checks are correct. They will come and vigorously check all of that. So we'll have to tell them, okay, well, where's our risk assessment for gorge walking? How is that done? All right, how is this done safely? They'll go through all those regulations. All right, then the second part to the ALA assessment is they come to our site and they'll go on a session. Okay, so that might be a stand-up paddleboarding session on the reservoir. They'll turn up, they'll check for that day, is the instructor that's leading the session qualified? All right, has he read the risk assessment? Has he signed the operating procedures? All right, is he delivering a safe session? So that ALA inspector will come to that session, they will observe the whole session to check that that's correct. Right, they'll also check things like, is that person qualified for that session? Is that instructor got his DBS and criminal records checks behind him? So all these things are checked by HSE through ALA. Since 2015, for 10 years, we've had a full ALA license, never had any problems. We've got lots of facilities on site, catering, accommodation, activities. And what I'll do is I'll try and break these down in the next few slides. Okay, let's go through the exciting stuff first. Let's go through some of the activities that your children might be doing. Remember, the size of your trip, the length of your trip is going to determine how many activities you can get through. And what I'm going to do in this bit is just talk about the different activities that possibly your children might be doing. To find out exactly what activities they're doing, just speak to the teachers and they'll be able to let you know. Okay, rock climbing first. All right, that's done at a local venue about a 10-minute drive away from here called Morlice. It's natural limestone, beautiful venue with lots of different climbs from beginner up to advanced. And we can really tailor any sessions to the group and the individuals in that group. So it might be that Charlie wants to go up all the way to the top, all right, but Bob might only go halfway. Or it might be the challenge for this individual is just getting off the ground or helping belay others, right? That's totally fine. And the instructors are really good at bringing out the best in each individual. We've got caving, all right? We've got a few local caves around us, Argoffer Key, Porphyr Argoff, all these different ones, beautiful areas to see some of what happens underground. Gorge walking is a really exciting adventure, slipping and sliding down waterfalls, going underneath waterfalls, wearing full kit, wetsuits, buoyancy aids, helmets, really fun day out. Stand-up paddleboarding, that's going to be done on our local reservoirs. It's a bit like a big surfboard that you can stand up on and have a paddle to get yourself around. We've got kayaking and we've got canoeing. Again, both done on the reservoirs. Kayaking's normally the slightly smaller ones. Canoeing are the slightly bigger ones where you can get multiple people in. Archery and bushcraft. So archery is on site and so is bushcraft. We've got a little forest area on site where they can roast marshmallows and make shelters, den building, all that type of stuff. And archery, well, you're bringing out your inner Maid Marians and Robin Hoods. Dragon boating is a real team building exercise. You can get up to 15 people in one giant boat and race it across the reservoir. We got raft building where you make your own rafts out of barrels and wood and rope. Orienteering and zip line, again, both on-site activities. Orienteering, you're sort of using a map to see if you can get different markers around the site. Zip wire. We've got a 100-meter zip wire that goes across our valley at our site, right? One of the hardest things is climbing up the tree. It's 20 meters high, okay? But with the capable hands of our instructors helping you through it, it's a really fun activity. Okay, all right, so that was just a selection of some of the activities we do. Let's have a look at now the accommodations. So we've got quite a few different accommodations on our site, ranging from a cottage, lodge, chalet, up to like pods and glamping and camping facilities. The main ones that the schools will be staying in are the lodge, chalet, and the cottage. And sometimes with a large school, it might be spread across these ones. Or with a smaller school, it might just be taking one of these units. I'll go through each of them now. Our lodge. Our lodge basically sleeps up to 44. It's got 12 large rooms upstairs, each with about 4 beds in each. Okay, downstairs is a large dining hall area and lounge, an area for sort of chill out and giant table football and things like that. Our chalet has 6 large rooms plus a little kitchen and lounge area. Okay, and the rooms again are about 4 to a room. Some of them do have 6. Accommodation, the cottage, right? That's at the bottom of our site and it sleeps up to 8. Okay, it's also one of our more luxurious accommodations. We do have sort of families that come into there on their own, or again, it can be used as a bolt-on for the schools. This has 3 rooms and a lounge and kitchen area. Catering. Okay, so this is normally one of the questions I get asked the most on. Oh, my child doesn't eat this or doesn't eat that. I think in a parents' evening the other day, I had one child that didn't eat the ends of sausages or broken baked beans. We totally get this. Our chefs are brilliant. We've got 2 really dedicated chefs that just want to make sure that your children are eating nice food while they're here. All right. They'll go out of their way to make sure that it's right for what it is. And then the teachers are good at picking menus that work for the group. What we normally find is once one person's eating and they're sort of going through that, the people next to them start eating and they eat more at our centres than they do at home. Any dietary requirements or anything like that, as long as you let us know in advance and you put it down on the medical sheets, we can normally deal for all these. If you have any specific questions or any of this, please do get in touch with your teachers and they can get in touch with our staff and we can talk through all this. Daily timetable. Okay, well, obviously this is going to depend a little bit on how long the stay of the school is. But in reality, we normally have schools come to us for about mid-morning, about 11:30. We then do a bit of a check-in. We do sort of the fire drill and some of the health and safety. We check them into their rooms, have some lunch, and then from then on, it's activities and fun. So in the afternoon, they get straight onto an activity. They get some dinner in the evening, and then they're normally back on evening sessions in the evening as well. All right, so sort of your 7 till 9 in the evening. All right, they come back, and then it's getting them into beds and lights out by about 10 o'clock. Okay, just back on that one. So the next day, it's either going to be your leaving day or it's going to be a middle day. If it's a middle day, it's you cook breakfast in the morning, it's going to be your activities in the morning, then a lunch, then more activities, then dinner, and then possibly back out on evening activities again. Okay, so that's a sort of middle day. An end day normally looks like, again, getting up in the morning, making sure your room's all sorted, getting this your bags and everything ready, and then cook breakfast, an activity, lunch, and then normally departing after lunch. Most of our schools will then be back in time for end of day where parents can pick them up as normal. Okay, so let's have a look at what we need to bring on these trips. In reality, you shouldn't need to go out and buy anything specific for any of the activities that we do. What your child normally wears for maybe PE or going out and playing in the garden will work really well for where we are here. Okay, obviously there might be some differences between winter and summer activities. All right, and you might need to pack either a few more layers or a bit more sun cream depending on the weather at that time of month that you come in. All right, but again, you don't need to go out and buy anything specific. If you've got a waterproof coat, bring that waterproof coat. If not, we've got lots of waterproof coats here. If you're doing things like caving, you are best to bring some wellies with you. Okay, I'd always recommend at least 2 pairs of shoes. Now, why I mean this is one for dry. Okay, so that'll be for your archery, bushcraft, orienteerings, all those types of things. They're going to be your dry pair of shoes. And then you're going to need 1 pair of shoes for your wet activities. So your gorge walking, your kayaking, your canoeing, all these types of things, you're going to wear that wet pair. And in reality, that wet pair of shoes is just an old pair of trainers. That works really well. Flip-flops, Crocs, things like that aren't great. So leave them all at home. Or if you want to bring one pair of sliders or something like that for the evenings that they can wear indoors, that's great. We try not to have any of the outdoor footwear indoors. Other things that you're going to need bedding. So the beds, when you come to them, will just have a bottom sheet on it. So you're going to need a pillow, pillowcase, duvet cover, or sleeping bag. You're going to need wash kit, all right, and a towel. So make sure those are packed. And then with regard to clothing, I'd just say try and bring one pair of clothing for every single day that you're there, all right, and then that should be able to sort you out, no problems. A few things not to bring. You don't really need any electricals, mobile phones, anything like that. Just leave it all at home. There won't be time for them anyway. There's not much signal around site. And we find that actually the trip goes better without them all. Okay. We tend to find that children get more homesick if they have an option of phoning home than not. The teachers will have an emergency phone at all times. So if there is any chance that they need to contact, they can always use that. Medication, please make sure you bring your medication, anything that you might need, and we probably recommend bringing 2 sets if possible. For example, 2 sets of inhalers, one that the teachers can have and one that they can give to the instructors for sessions. Finally, there is a small tuck shop and sort of goodies shop on site selling sort of key rings and rubbers and pencils and things like that. But you shouldn't need much. I'd say maximum £15. Brilliant. Well, hopefully that's been really informative for you guys. Again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask your teachers. They can get in touch with us, or if you send us an email at dolygaer@parkwoodoutdoors.co.uk, we can also answer your emails in that way as well. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll hopefully greet your children really soon. They'll have a great time. Thank you.